Welcome back to the Throwdown OCE Championship League Play 2 live at Showdown Studios. This is Yummy Cheese Man, Courier Lord Snedden. Oh, God. It's good to be alive.
Courier Lord Snedden.
That's right.
Hi, Mr. Yummy Cheese Man.
Do we want to take over the broadcast again?
I'm Hysterics, by the way, and we're jumping into our match of the week, and this is the Chiefs taking on Tainted Minds. Now, for those of you at home, you should know these teams. There are two RLCS representatives from last season.
They've come back, and they've both had a shaky start to this season, so this is a huge match for both of them.
Yeah, and they've both had a week, though, to clean that up. So hopefully it's been enough. We did see last week the 3-2 against Love Decks that could have gone either way with Chiefs.
This is the story of consistency for both of them. Even though Chiefs had a bad week last week, they still got very Chiefs-like stats. They had the least shots against them across the entire day.
Yeah, but Tainted Minds, on the other hand, even though they didn't have the week they wanted, they still walk away with a huge number of shots on CJ, the monster character.
They've just walked away with the 3-0 against Retirement Home, and they're getting these 1-2-3 passes off again.
I think that has to compensate, though, for they're getting 3-0'd by Jam last week. So they're now only breaking even.
They're just even. They're 1-1. A win here pulls them right up to the top of the ladder. A loss is going to send them into such a difficult situation because they're not a team that's going to be satisfied with anything other than a top 2 in this league play.
And I'm versus Darkside, and you don't want to be negative before that.
Or Legacy.
Oof.
And on the other side for the Chiefs, I dare say that last week, I mean, it was a testament to how well Love Decks were playing. Maybe the Chiefs were caught by surprise, but a win's a win.
Oh, no, that was not the Chiefs that we know. That was a completely different Chiefs. They had no passes. They are the infield pass team, and they just did not have them.
Yeah, but once Drip A turns on, it becomes terrifying. So if we see Drip A on point today, that will be filthy.
Well, the scary thing is Drip A, I think it's without a doubt right now. He is the best player in OCE right now. And when he stepped up, he had a lack of confidence at the beginning of that game. But when he was confident and he was just going for those balls, he scored 6 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, he breaks games.
Yeah.
But this should be the 2 top OCE teams, and right now, they're not sitting up there. We know that Darksider dominate league play pretty much every season. But for Chiefs and Tainted Minds, this is their moment to show us and everyone at home that they are the best OCE teams. They have to topple one another. Courier, who do you stand in this battle royale?
I'm going to go with Chiefs on this one. I have a lot of confidence that after last week when Torsos immediately quit, I'm like, that's a really good sign. Like, it's counterintuitive, but that's a great sign. That means Torsos is about to just study incredibly hard, and I know if he's doing it, Jake's doing it, and Drip A's doing it, so they're going to be insane this week.
None of them are satisfied with their play. I think I'm in full agreement. They're going to be figuring out how to play properly, how to get their style back, and it's going to be a Chiefs 3-1.
See, I think it's quite interesting that you said before, Yummy, that the Chiefs, that was not the Chiefs last week, and I partially agree, but I also partially think that league play is tight. I also think that after a 3-0 win, Tainted Minds will be looking good. And although on LAN, Tainted Minds have been destroyed in the past by the Chiefs, online play, Tainted Minds have shown some real exceptional stuff.
Yeah, but it's still been going to the Chiefs most of the time in online play. I think they've beaten them once in online play, Tainted Minds. It's just a very close match. They're the ones where Tainted Minds actually do have a good chance against Chiefs.
Yeah, Tainted used to do really good against the old Jam roster, which helped push them up the ladder into the second position.
Well, they're the ones that they took them down when they went to RLCS. But this time we're going into Game 1, match of the day, match of the week even. You're not going to see it anywhere else. Chiefs taking on Tainted Minds, and we're split down the board. Me going for Tainted Minds, I think this could be an interesting result.
I'm going to be looking to see if the Chiefs are able to rotate properly, not double commit or triple commit like they did last week, as well as get these infield passes that we know and love.
Jake's already centered. The ball goes past and swings through Kami. Jules now under pressure is sent away by CJ. But this is an old rivalry. This is one that has brewed at the end of last year. Remember that this roster came out of nowhere, and now they're one of the top OCE teams. So they're looking to dominate and control this series.
I want to see how Jules does as well. He's the new contender in here that we don't know how he's going to perform against this Chiefs team who play incredibly fast.
Jake hanging back, passes it over, but CJ should be able to react to this one. As Jake picks up that corner boost, he'll be able to push up with the likes of Torsos. Jake coming up off the corner. This has not been matched. An opening for the Chiefs.
That was just pressure. The quick 1-2 around the corner, and Jake playing this very aggressively, able to get it centered for Drip A. That is the first goal for Chiefs.
So, starting off strong, the Chiefs run out of the gate. And this is really, really powerful from the Chiefs. Starting off Game 1.
Real statement.
That is what you want to see. Tainted Minds pushing to set Chiefs back. on the defense. The backboard is touched, and you can see it's a very different team from retirement home. Chiefs, a lot more calculated, a lot more controlled, and Tainted Minds are not going to be able to get away with half the stuff they got away with in the last series.
That is going to be tough for Tainted Minds, as they were given a few freebies against retirement home. Right now, Tainted Minds need to find some room on the pitch.
Well, they found it there, but unable to break away and break through that net. Chiefs now centering the ball, and a good outcome so far from Tainted Minds, able to get down this side of the field. Kami and Jules around this side, but Drippe has dribbled it past 1-2, and now the ball goes past the third. Jules is back in time, and Jake should be able to pass it again, but CJ upfield gets sent away. Jake to this left wing. Remember last week the Chiefs weren't really in form, and this week it looks like the Chiefs maybe shored things up, especially when you're going up against a powerful opponent like Tainted Minds.
Tainted Minds. This is their demon, the team that's taken them down time and time again. The team they've never truly been able to beat in the big important matches. So this will be a big showing on whether it was a smart move to bring in Jules.
Game 1, 2:45. Kami slow around the ball. CJ lurking. Boost actually taken away from Jake, but that powerful move means nothing because Drippe gets a clear. Jules now losing the ball, angled in directly into net, and Kami sends it away. Jules upfield. Powerful clear from Tainted Minds. Still, Tainted Minds look to participate in this offense, but sent right back on the defense. Drippe around the side, into net, or into goal square, I should say. Jake around this side is going to bring it back in. The pressure mounting from the Chiefs and getting bumped up the backside there. Torsos from this corner will center it now for Tainted Minds. The shots there. CJ waiting again, and it's going to hit the corner. Drippe brings it back down. CJ missing the ball and gives Drippe a bit of room to breathe. The demolition in front of net, but Torsos reacts swiftly.
Some great defensive rotations from the Chiefs. Even though Tainted Minds have had this offense for a while, there's never been a close opportunity. Chiefs just rotating, finding the save after save.
CJ bringing it back. That's going to be centered through off the wall. Jules now missing the ball. It goes right past him, and Chiefs are going to be able to go on the offense after this. The pass is there, trying to get it through. Jules, away it goes, and Kami able to get the clear off it as well. Jake waits, he lurks, he punches the ball back up this side of the field. Jules loses it. The center's there, the 1-2-3, and the Chiefs looking strong.
Really good work by CJ. CJ just clutch saves. You just got 2 in a row to keep Tainted Minds in this game.
Pushing the ball again. Tainted Minds have an opportunity to strike, but immediately Chiefs clear it back down. 1-0, a close game 1, but Drippe over the top, stolen away by Jules. As he reads this ball, he starts pushing it up. The new player for Tainted Minds has set them up in a pretty good position, but Chiefs able to clear it away. Reacted by Tainted Minds, they bring it back down, and 2 members in the midfield. Torsos is not able to get the touch, and it means it's brought back down. But Tainted Minds, this is the play, and that is the goal.
Great sneak pass by CJ. CJ just getting that round and set up by Jules off the corner. CJ actually beat out Drippe with that 50-50 as well. Hard to do.
Hard to do it. A hard, close game for game 1. 1-1, 50 seconds remaining. And moving into further in this series, this is a really good result. Tainted Minds, CJ actually beating him out again, and Jake was the last line of defense. Drippe hops up for the ball. Jake's going to have to react quickly here. Over to Jules. Jules punches it again down the other side of the field. Drippe to this corner, but Jules tries to react quickly, misses the bump onto Torsos. He runs down the field. Kami's here, but away from the corner. CJ now going to have to read this perfectly, but Jules is up for it, and Jules having a lot of possession of the ball this game.
Yeah, and what's most important as well is Tainted Minds are tying up against the Chiefs, who are playing really well. That's so close.
Well, Kami, he comes close to trying to finish it off for the Chiefs. The counter-attack off the back of that ball.
And a big play from Jake too. He's been so aggressive, so good in this offensive half, something we didn't see in the last OCE Championship. Leading his team forward.
Seems to work. 10 seconds left in game 1. And the Chiefs might have just nailed it down, especially with the way things are going. These goals are not coming cheap. And it is just a testament again to how close these teams are. Kami's going to pop it up, but I think the Chiefs here, as the ball hits the roof, comes back down. There is nothing really that Tainted Minds can do against the wall. CJ sends it all the way over, and Jules can't get there in time, so game 1 will narrowly go to the Chiefs.
That was a big showing from the Chiefs because they're playing up against a warmed-up Tainted Minds. And what's important as well is we saw a lot of right idea, wrong execution from the Chiefs. They had those infield passes. They were looking for each other. They were rotating well. They just weren't quite getting the best touches.
They came close. The moment from Tainted Minds there, that was the difference between the 2-1 for them and the 2-1 for the Chiefs. And I think it wasn't a matter of misexecution. It was a defense from the Chiefs again, standing up strong.
Yeah, the problem with Tainted Minds in that match is they couldn't really find the shots. And Tainted Minds are a team that want to get a lot of shots and eventually get one in. They're not a sort of team that'll just have 1 or 2 big plays and score off that. And Chiefs were just taking away all their opportunities.
It was such a close series in game 1. Only taken away narrowly.
I don't think it was as close as it really looked on the scoreboard because the Chiefs felt like they were in control in defense. And Tainted Minds are going to have to step it up a little bit. They're not going to get away with just forcing out mistakes like they did against Retirement Home. Now they need to figure out a big solo play from Kami or a big crossfield pass that they aren't getting the room to make at the moment.
I think they were getting a lot of those passes off that maybe the Chiefs should have been capitalizing on. Maybe the Chiefs should have been interrupting because there wasn't as much freedom as we saw with Retirement Home, but there was still those aspects of we've got room to breathe, maybe a little bit too much when you're going up against the Chiefs, but that'll be shown here in game 2. Chiefs now able to push the ball forward, but for Tainted Minds, and they find that room again. Chiefs are a team that have looked so dominant on the world stage. Taking down international teams. Ghosts have nothing against them. CJ will pass the ball up. Away it goes, Drippe from the side. Torsos loses it, over to Kami. Kami winning it out, actually going to drop down, and Jake comes up. A moment to spare. Jules there with the angle, and in front goes Torsos, and big start for Tainted Minds.
This is huge for Tainted Minds to get on the attack, but still Chiefs have good defensive rotations and never crossing their paths.
Saw it was a close shot there. CJ comes around from this corner. Jules is going to have to anticipate this one, but kind of does. It's a pass back. CJ will have the speed on the ball to hit it into the corner and center it for himself. Pops it up, but that's good for Drippe. In fact, able to run away, but falling back over. Torsos plays around this corner. CJ with the center. Jake up for the ball. Hits it narrowly over the top, and Drippe comes in to complete.
Good work by Tainted Minds just to keep this one in the mix and get that play into the offensive half. This is where they want to be. And very hard to stop Chiefs from getting the defensive clears.
Torsos playing aggressively, goes up. Chiefs are continuing to aggress onto this Tainted Minds defense. Jake coming in strong, and this rotation that we've seen from the Chiefs with Jake going up, it's worked out very well for them. Chiefs at 3 minutes 30, still holding, but Tainted Minds breaching through. The ball gone past onto Jake, and CJ, Jules, they hang around the corner. The demolition onto CJ. That should halt, but Jules is still in here with the help of Kami. Kami off the side, pops it up. Drippe's there to respond.
Good stuff by Drippe. The defense, just again, Chiefs holding it out, finding the spots, and Tainted Minds never seem to have enough players on the pitch for them to get those passes to each other.
Tainted Minds, now they're going to have to try and find rooms to breathe. That was close. That should have gone in. A little bit too far over. Tainted Minds, a missed opportunity. Still looking to strike.
It's a good sign. With that opportunity coming through, we expect to see more and more coming out throughout the game, and it could go down to just 1 goal.
Was the difference last game, the 2-1, another demolition. Torsos now down. Jake and Drippe left to fend for themselves, but as Torsos comes back up, Jake should be able to find the clear. Kami losing out, up to the ball again. CJ off the corner. Jules with the angle. They leave it. Kami doesn't come up. The ball's cleared away, and Tainted Minds leave it a little bit too long. Chiefs are able to capitalize.
It really does feel like the same team. Tainted Minds just looking to go fast, and they've outpaced themselves as Drippe gets the open net.
You saw CJ block that one away, and you're hoping for good things from Tainted Minds, but Drippe able to finish this one off. Chiefs again lead the charge with 1-0.
It really looks like Tainted Minds are trying to play the same way they did against Retirement Home, trying to beat them in the air, but they're not stringing together those plays like we were talked about earlier.
Well, the Chiefs, they're looking so much cleaner, and Drippe now off this kickoff should be able to open things up. Torsos waits patiently, and again, this is a no-boost Torsos, so Jake, as he gets bumped into, still manages to hit the ball around. Kami off this corner should be a good angle. Who's coming in? CJ off the corner again. Torsos able to read it. Drippe hangs back. Torsos with a light pop up. Jake It's a good touch, but no one in position. So Kami hits it, the 1-2-3, the demolition instead from Jules. Should be able to center this ball, but Torsos reads it well, and the defense like a brick wall from the Chiefs, what we've come to expect, in Tainted Minds still struggling to break through it.
Well, it's surprising as well because Chiefs normally maintain their defense by a good offense, by keeping possession. This time it's just straight defensive rotations.
Clean play, Tainted Minds. Saw that one come off the corner.
That's the second opportunity. They could be up 2-1 at this point in time with just big counterattack plays.
Great pass, actually set up for the Chiefs, and this is why the Chiefs look so much cleaner.
So clever. Look how quickly Jake gets this pass. He's never slowing down at the point. He never worries about looking for the pass. He knows Drupe is going to be there.
And that's what you want to see from the Chiefs, them coming into fine form in the RLCS season. League Play 2, and they are on point.
We've seen this time and time again from the Chiefs. In previous seasons, they had an off day. It fires them up, and they come back twice as strong.
Remember, they're always critical. What can they do better? Remember you telling me that Torsos, he'll go back in and say, no, I wasn't happy with that performance.
He's actually uninstalled the game about 4 times now.
If anything, that is a confidence booster. Not really, but a shot in from Jules. Didn't see how that happened, but I think he cheated away at the ball.
It was a rough touch by Drippe, who was caught out by that original touch. You can see just how confused he is, doesn't know where to go, and Jules read it perfectly.
So this is great. Tainted Minds, 47 seconds left on the clock. Started up as Chiefs are in a comfortable position, but not as much as you'd think. And this is for Tainted Minds, now an opportunity to strike.
Given the way the Chiefs are defending, they should be able to hold out, but Tainted Minds are the kind of team that can score from anywhere.
Starting to play fast and bringing the pace up. Jules now up for the ball, but Torsos reaches it first. Off the roof, this needs to be saved, but that locks it in.
What a goal! Off the roof, reading that perfectly, and finds this angle. Have a look at that. That should have hit the backboard, and Drippe is just way too fast for Tainted Minds.
If there was a way to clean up this second game, that is it. And the Chiefs now with a 2-goal lead at 30 seconds left on the clock. With goals like that, you got to say, hey, how easy does it look? And that is quite the opposite. Drippe setting it up for a 3-1, 20 seconds left, and that'll put the nail in the coffin.
They've just driven away with this game. They're straight down the highway looking to finish it off before they even get off the M1.
4-1.
Which is a highway.
Hystericism's at their finest, really. 19 seconds left of the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, Chiefs game 2. And really, it's 110. But the Chiefs right now, they're doing 150 on the M1. In kilometers, by the way. Miles' stupid metric system. No, non-stupid metric system. 7 seconds left. And I think for Chiefs, this is going to be a fantastic run through, because you look next, they're going to take down the Titans in Jam Gaming, who took down Tainted Minds last week.
Well, if you beat the Tainted Minds as well, puts them in good stead to be sort of roughly even with them. Chiefs, though, I think when you came in and saw their performance against Retirement Home, you thought this was going to be a close match. Well, they have something to prove.
They definitely do. Chiefs have been to RLCS before on the stage. They've beaten Tainted Minds out when it was Kia, but now Jules provides something different for the roster. Chiefs don't care. They're still looking punishing. They're still looking complete. Chiefs
are the type of team that look international. They're looking at RLCS already and saying, how do we beat those top teams? Then they lost, well, they went close to Love Deck, so that's brought them back to local, back to Australia, and said, okay, first we need to get there. But you can see why they're looking international. You can see why they're looking at making it into that top 3 at the World Championship, because they're able to perform so well here.
Longest standing roster in the world. Want to go international. They know in their hearts they're going to go, but how are they? Nothing certain in OCE League play, and especially for week number 2. I think for the Chiefs, they'll be saying, all right, we take down Tainted Minds, then we look ahead.
We look at consistency as well. We saw in week number 1, that was an inconsistent Chiefs. They weren't playing their best, and I think if they can hold out a performance like this throughout the league play, they'll just easily make it through.
Well, game 3, they have to close this one out at a steady stake. Otherwise, Tainted Minds, there have been some openings where Tainted Minds have come big or come close to locking some in.
There are a couple of really big redirects, and that seems to be where Tainted Minds are going to win the game, by just getting it through before Chiefs can set up that nicely placed defense. Because they often aren't going, oh, okay, Tainted Minds are going to get a shot off this. So if Tainted Minds quickly get the one up the pitch, the redirect in, then it will get there before Chiefs are set up.
I think for the Chiefs, though...
I just said the same thing twice.
That's all right. I do that all the time. Chiefs are a team that have been consistent, have been precise. And I think last week was a start of good things to come, because the Chiefs starting off coming back to their roots and being knocked down a couple of pegs. They're like, all right, let's get back into form. Let's get through league play first. And you can see that the Chiefs, they've already started off strong as we head into Game 3.
It happened in off-season as well, and then they came back and became the champions of that off-season. So you never want Chiefs to lose.
A versatile team changing their play style. And Jake coming up to the ball, being more flexible for Tainted Minds. That was an opening, but Torsos blocking the ball. Drip Bait, Torsos, and Jake all jump in front of it. Torsos coming around. The Chiefs, arguably number 1. And, of course, the crowd being behind them, 66% on those beautiful poles you see on our Twitch channel. And Tainted Minds getting on the defensive, of course. The Chiefs always going to get that international support. It's a team that everyone knows best. And although CJ standard there wanting more Twitter followers, the Chiefs, they're being the ones that to perform. And you can see here, Jake comes in with the angle, and already the attack begins again.
You can see a big turnaround for Tainted Minds. They're figuring out a strategy. They're taking the ball high and trying to drain the Chiefs' boost when they're on defense.
The push through. Torso's actually getting the speed on the ball. Who's going to get up for it? Jake comes in hot, and the angle's there. The power's there. Hits the crossbar. See you later as Jules tries to take it away, but given back to Drip A.
Drip A really did have to hit that crossbar. There was only one spot that he could shoot it. It was right at the top of the net, and he just went an inch too high.
It's okay, though. Chiefs still putting a huge amount of pressure on this Game 3. Drip A, that's going to be the clear over to Torsos. CJ tries to get there first, but loses out to the ball. Chiefs now read the ball up. Up goes Tainted Minds. It comes off the backboard, and in should have been a goal, but Kami's been blocked again for Tainted Minds. Another save. This time it was Torsos, and the Chiefs, they're a wall that's made out of titanium alloy.
Made out of Torsosium, apparently, because he just made both of those saves in a row. You all right, buddy?
Yeah, no. It's actually a clever metal, and one that Tainted Minds struggling to get through all the same. The ball getting taken away, and CJ pops it up, pinches it through. Jules is there. CJ coming through the center field. Kami here goes back and forth, and Torsos should be a free net. And that's going to be the first goal going to the Chiefs.
Torsos has spent a lot of this game ahead of the ball and is really causing a lot of confusion for the Tainted Minds defense. It didn't matter this time, but they had to worry about the fact that Torsos was behind them.
I think Torsos, again, is having one of those games where you just can't fault his play.
Yeah.
Great saves, solid shots on attack, and the Chiefs one up once again. This longest standing roster in the world for Rocket League. Another pierce from Jake will find the second.
And it's all three of them playing to perfection as well. None of them getting in each other's way, but most importantly, sharing the wealth of goals, assists, pass. They're all three contributing all over the pitch.
But you cannot drop the ball. You cannot make a mistake on Tainted Minds, because Chiefs are always there to come up big. And another moment where these passes might not be going right for Tainted Minds. Chiefs are always coming in hot. Jules sending the ball up, and Torsos knows there's 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. Kami able to push the ball around, but Chiefs, they're going to be coming in. There's Jake, as we expected, off the side. Jules passing the ball upfield, and Tainted Minds, their backs are in a corner once again.
It really shows the biggest strength of the Chiefs is their ability to do everything, be a jack of all trades, because they're able to shut down everything on defense, and they're able to set up a whole array of attacks. That was a hard word.
They're in a league of their own, Yummy, and I think it's been proved here in this series. Tainted Minds, another RLCS team, but look at the division that Chiefs have put themselves in. Drip Bay getting ready for the center ball and will not even take it. Torsos waits in the midfield, heading on back to the defense. Jake around here as well. CJ with the angle in. Jules waiting patiently. He's going to have to get up to the ball. Torsos is not there. Hits the backboard. An opportunity for CJ.
Good setup by Jules. Up to the ball quickly and hits the backboard. This is him stepping up and causing a bit of confusion, because Torsos is normally one of the fastest players in the air, and he beat him out.
And the fact that Tainted Minds, that Jules is stepping up in this game, even though Tainted Minds are not, I think is a good testament to how Tainted Minds may develop throughout league play.
I think that's definitely the case, and it really goes to show how important it is to keep the same roster.
Development. It's been done with the Chiefs. Tainted Minds introducing Jules. Now Chiefs with the pass through, but Jules, the 1-2-3, off to the side, it bounces back, and Tainted Minds, they've lost the ball,
no.
and it's sent through.
That could have been a Tainted Minds goal. It was that quick 1-2 down the pitch, but it missed, and it meant that Drippe could reverse it the exact same way.
And this play by the Chiefs could just be it. A 3-0 for the Chiefs would start things off. It would move them into the Jam Gaming series, and expectations for the Chiefs would once again be at an all-time high. 60%, I say 70 by now. 1 minute 15 left.
This is Chiefs running away, and it might just be off one fortunate goal for them. 1 minute left for Tainted Minds to get 2 goals.
Pushing the ball forward, Kami, brick wall in it himself. CJ around the side is looking for boost. He's got enough. He gets up to the ball, sends it away. Kami won't get to the ball first, and that's what the Chiefs do. They get there consistently. Kami now going to have to hit it back against that wall. CJ will be the one to recover and get it away from Jake. 45 seconds remaining. CJ trying to pop it through. Tainted Minds, this is a game that they desperately wanted to win. They had a very convincing series against Retirement Home, but Chiefs have done exactly that to them, missing the ball. Luckily, not into the net. Jules hits it on around. Will be going for the dribble. Wins out 1, but not 2. 25 seconds. Time has run out, and the Chiefs Esports, they have just taken a 3-0. One that they should be impressed with. The Chiefs are back in form. They're back onto the pitch in style, and they're back working their way to RLCS.
With this win, this proves once again that they are the champions of OCE. 7 seconds, though. That goal, we might have counted them out a little too early because Tainted Minds will have one more opportunity to tie up the game.
1 7-second play. This defines Tainted Minds in the high-pressure moment. They have to get this kickoff right. They have to win. It's gone over to the side of them. Jake is popping it down. It's going to be a massive clear. They have to keep this ball up. Jules is up for it. Torsos knocks it back. No one's in position. And now the Chiefs in front of net. They'll secure a Game 3 as well.
That is a big victory. Chiefs are the #1 team in OCE, and they have proved it. They have proven that they can pick it up and show consistency after that failure almost in week 1.
Remember when we said Drippe, the best player in OCE, and you can see it there. Consistency across the board. 6 shots on net.
What was important is last week, he was the one who scored almost all of their goals. 70%.
Yeah.
This week, team effort.
Yeah, and you can see them all rotating well. You have a game where Jake has a low number of shots, then you have one where Torsos has a low number of shots, and it's not that the players aren't playing well.
Yeah.
It's they're only moving up when they need to, capitalizing on that, and then if they don't need to, happy to sit back.
I think this match really shows, again, how important it is to maintain a roster, because even with Jules stepping up, it did not matter because they just didn't have the full repertoire, the ability to adapt that a team that's been together almost 2 years now has.
And I think a great example is when you look at Chiefs Jake, he had some holes in his game in regarding his shooting, and the fact that everything else in the gameplay was so clean, it gave him time to fix that up. And then with Drippe, his rotations weren't perfect with his teammates when he lost a bit of confidence, and you could see how that's cleaned up, and now he's even more terrifying.
Yeah.
And it just pays off so
But
well.
it's that consistency that makes an Omen by HP MVP. It's that consistency that makes one of our front-runner players, like I dare say Jake or even Drippe in that series. I think with the Chiefs, you can't just name one. It always comes in the pack.
Yeah, it was a huge team effort. I think I'd have to put Jake as the top player of that match. He had a big effort and got those early goals that mattered the most.
No, I think all of them played well, so I wouldn't disparage anyone that's like, yeah, Drippe or Torsos or Jake. I think it's pretty even.
But having said that, I don't think Tainted Minds had a awful game.
No.
I think that Tainted Minds just now see the huge gap between them and the Chiefs. Tainted Minds, in my opinion, had a very good day, but they've still got a lot to work on.
They just didn't really adapt from the Retirement Home series, to my opinion.
Yeah.
They were still just trying to outpace the Chiefs, and they were able to do it. They actually got up to the ball first quite a few times, but then they didn't have the follow-up because all they were doing was trying to get to the ball first.
Yeah, and then you'd see where it would change up with like, okay, we may not always get the follow-up touches fast enough, but if we all go in, one of us will be able to clean it, and then you have moments where Drippe just...
Struggling against Jam, and then now against Chiefs, it's going to be Tainted Minds who are going to have to continue climbing up. However, in our next series, we have Chiefs taking on Jam Gaming, and that is going to be a game in itself, so do not go anywhere. In 5 minutes, we'll return.